Yo, what's up everybody? How you doing? This is your Coach Renz. And do you see that sunlight that's coming into my face? Yes, I see it. I like it. I feel it. I'm feeling it for you. Now, before we do anything, I want everybody to subscribe. I need you to subscribe. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We're trying to get to the 10,000 subscribers by the end of this year. I think we can get there a lot sooner, but I'm giving you to the end of this year, so like and share this video as well. Now, this morning, I heard on the radio that today is, hold on for it, it's Holy Thursday. Did you know that today was Holy Thursday? I had no idea that today was Holy Thursday. And guess what? I did absolutely no research as to what Holy Thursday is. And I probably won't do any research for it. I know that's kind of unlike me to do a video about something that I didn't do any research about, but it gave me a thought and idea, something that I already know, but something that I understand how the system works. And so I want to break this down to you utilizing this idea of a Holy Thursday. Why would there be a Holy Thursday? Now, please, somebody is going to tell me why in the comments, or why they said today is Holy Thursday. And then maybe I'll do another video about it then. But let's get my quick understanding of it with no research whatsoever as far as Holy Thursday. But I definitely, before anybody says anything, I have tons of research on the other subject matter that I'm talking about in this video. Why would you create a Holy Thursday? You would have to create a Holy Thursday to answer a question that has plagued the Christian community for a very long time. A situation that most Christians would just ignore. That they know the facts, but would just ignore it. And here it is. Jesus is supposed to have died on the cross. Before sunset, they said we got to take him down because the next day is the Sabbath. He was supposed to be in the grave for 3 days. Then rose on the third day. Has a problem with that one anyway, but rose on the third day with all power in his hands. So here's the problem. 3 days. Doesn't add up. Doesn't add up at all. See, you got to have a Holy Thursday to try to fix this situation and then ignore the Jewish statement in there. Here's the thing. You need 3 days, period. If you died on a Friday, and first let's get into the concept of in the grave. All right? Not that any of you guys have been to prison, but if you have, you might understand this. Oh, you've been to jail, you might understand this. Oh, you know somebody been in jail, you might understand this. If I said that somebody was in jail for 3 days, let me ask you a question. If they went in on Friday, when do they get released? If they're in jail for 3 days, and let's say they started their jail time on Friday at 6 o'clock, when do they get out? 1 day of being in jail will be 6 o'clock Saturday. 2 days, 6 o'clock Sunday. 3 days, 6 o'clock Monday. They don't start getting processed out till 6 o'clock Monday to get out of jail, because they have to spend 3 days in jail. So if he's 3 days in the grave, then he needs to be in the grave for 3 days. So if he's in for 3 days, then how did he get up on Sunday? Doesn't add up. Because if he died at sundown, right before sundown on Friday, 6 o'clock, Saturday, 6 o'clock, it's 1 day. Sunday, 6 o'clock, 2 days. Monday, 6 o'clock, 3 days. And if he rose in the morning, right? Now, I know if we're Jewish, if he rose in the morning, that could be 6 o'clock on Monday, which is actually Tuesday morning. Okay, that's actually Tuesday morning. Because the sunset is the beginning of the new day. So that'd be Tuesday morning. So it still don't work. Still don't work. But we know that the Romans, at that time frame, the day started at sunrise, is when the day started. Because that's when, you know, Apollo is riding his chariot across the sky. So that's when sunrise started. That's the new day. So it doesn't add up. So Holy Thursday. Holy Thursday would be you trying to change it and make it work a little bit better. So if he died on Thursday, right? Died on Thursday. And we're going by the Romans here, right? So he dies Thursday. Friday, 1 day. Saturday, 2 days. Sunday, in the morning, rose up, 3rd day, bam, got it, worked. Yeah, but didn't they say that we have to take him down because the next day is the Sabbath? And that's why they had to take him down before sunset, which means that he had to die on a Friday. Now, first, what they're going to do is try to tell you that, oh, well, we're going to call Thursday Holy Thursday because, you know, that's the day that he was being, you know, beaten with the whips and the cat o' nine tails. That's the day of he took his beating for us, that he took the punishment for us. So they're going to tell you at first. That's how they're going to first spin it. Now, we go the next 20 years, and that's what they're saying. We're okay with it, but the kids who are born today, that's what they're going to grow up believing, that Holy Thursday. Then 20 years more go by. Holy Thursday has even more added to it. And then another 20 years go by. That's 60 years. Most of us who are of adult mind are either old or dead. So we can't combat it. Now we have 2, 3 generations and a 4th one on the way that will always have known that there is a Holy Thursday. You see, that's how you change it. Your change is not immediate. It's a long-term plan. That's the plan. It's long-term to change it to Thursday. But let me go ahead and break down for you guys where all of this stuff comes from and what you should be doing and how you should think about it, because it's not about the argument. For those who want to argue with me about it and say, you need to go do more research because you don't know what you're talking about, but I ain't got time for it. I won't even bother with it. But let me break down to you what we can do and can understand from this. Now, we already know, those of us who study deeper and study other cultures and read other books all understand that this whole idea of the resurrection comes from many different sources and many different cultures. So don't get stuck on one culture. This is a worldwide story. This is actually an incredibly worldwide story, but for right now, at this time frame, this is the rebirth for the Northern Hemisphere. So you have to understand ancient cultures, Northern Hemisphere is springtime. It's the spring equinox. It's the time, if you were Greek, studying the ancient Greek, that I think it's Persephone was released from Hades because she had got tricked into going down with Hades, married Hades, ate some fruit. Zeus said that if she hadn't eaten the fruit, any food down there, she could come back immediately. But because she had to stay in there. That happened in the fall. She had to stay. Hera, who was her mother, becomes sad. Wintertime comes, everything dies. And then when her daughter comes back at the spring equinox, Hera is happy, everything becomes lush and green. Spring. As far as the Egyptian story, the Egyptians and Sumerians knew that the new year started springtime because life is here. This is the time frame at the spring equinox that the days are longer than the night. So the sun has finally won over the darkness. So it is the new year in spring. Because what we do know from astrologically is that the sun, from the summer solstice to the winter solstice, the sun is setting, well, almost for the winter solstice, the sun is setting 1 degree south. It's setting and rising 1 degree south, 1 degree south, 1 degree south, 1 degree south. Every day, every day. The days are getting shorter and shorter and shorter and shorter and shorter. The night is winning. Life, vegetation is dying, right? Then we get to December 21st. December 21st, the sun sets right at the Southern Cross constellation. The sun dies on the cross, S-U-N. Now for the next 3 days, the sun will rise and set in the same spot for 3 days. The sun is 3 days in the grave. 22nd, 23rd, 24th. 3 days consecutive. It dies, it sets, it stays in the grave, it sets in the same spot. Then, miraculously, on the 25th of December, the sun rises and sets 1 degree north. The day is just a little bit longer. And then each day becomes longer and longer and longer and longer until we get to this spring equinox when the day is finally longer than the night. The sun, the light, has won over the darkness. The new year and spring and life and birds, everything begins. That's the story. That's part of it. Now, every culture in the world has a similar situation. Southern Hemisphere was just reversed. It was just reversed in the Southern Hemisphere. Right now, the Southern Hemisphere is getting ready. They're going into fall, right? It's harvest time for them. Northern Hemisphere, we're going into spring. It's planting time. So what does that mean for you? Now, you as humans, you as living beings of energy, you as having divine opportunity to connect with source, you can create seasons at any point in time in your life. At any point in time in your life, you can commune with nature. You just have to recognize the energies of the earth where you are. If you're in the Northern Hemisphere, this is your time for planting. I did a video a couple of days ago where I told you that Saturday, full moon, it is a time for you to take that spiritual bath, to cleanse your body first. Then take that spiritual bath of sea salt and apple cider vinegar with the mother in it. Or you can do Himalayan salt. You can do a bunch of different things. You can make your spiritual bath. Take that spiritual bath. Meditate. Get your candles. Whatever you're going to do. It's really about you. It's not so much about the ritual as much as the ritual is designed to get you in connection with your inner divinity so you can connect with source. You can connect with earth energy. You can connect with universal energy. Because when you connect with universal energy, you create. All these stories, the allegory is about them creating. It's about you coming out of the darkness of your of the dead self and coming into the life, coming into your new life, your life of abundance, your life to create, your life to manifest and have joy and happiness, to create an environment around you that creates happiness in your life. The salvation of your light being from your dead being. And I don't even want to say dark being. You know why? Not because I'm black. It has nothing to do with that. It's because when you look at the universe, dark energy is more abundant than light energy. There's more darkness in the universe than light. Everything in the universe came from dark energy. Dark energy is not negative, it's not evil, it's just energy. It's just like anything. Is a gun good or is a gun bad? If I use the gun to protect my family, it's good. If I use a gun to injure somebody, to take from them, then it's bad. It's just a tool. Dark energy is just a tool. So what I want to say is that you're going to come out of your dead self into your life self, into your divine self. That's what all of these allegories are for. And we look at nature to understand that. We look at nature to see that every year, nature goes through a change. It goes through a metamorphosis, and it knows what to do in each stage and each change. And that's what we have to get in tune with. All these rituals are just to get your mind and your energy and your heart, your emotions in tune with nature so that you become your own divine salvation. You don't need to be saved by anybody else. You don't need to be saved by anything else. The only thing that saves you is you. To a lot of people, that's blasphemy. Here's the thing. It doesn't matter what you think. I care less about what you think. If you think I'm going to argue with you with your long stories in the bottom, you're talking to the wrong person. Because it's a waste of my time. It's not that I disrespect you. It's just that it's a waste of my time. It doesn't feed me. It doesn't do anything to uplift me. It doesn't do anything to help me to manifest what it is I want in my life. So if you take offense to it, then you just keep that anger for yourself, because that anger is going to hurt you. It's going to injure you. It's going to cause your life. Christian people forget that forgiveness is not for the other person, but the forgiveness is for yourself, for you to be able to release all that for yourself, for you to find peace for yourself. So I don't argue with you, because arguing with you takes away from my peace. So I have no time for it, nor energy for it. You don't deserve my energy for that. So it's not disrespect, it's respect for me. And that's what I want all the people who do listen to me to understand. Respect yourself and love yourself enough. That's why in my book, How to Find Your Divine Soulmate, one of the chapters is say I do to yourself first. Because before you can say I do to anything or anybody else, before you can commit to anything or anybody else, you got to first commit to you. You got to first say that I'm going to take myself into this spring equinox, to this rebirth, to bring myself out of the dead self. As the Gospel of Thomas says, I'm going to live by my spirit and not by the poverty of the flesh, right? Yeah, I just quoted the Gospel of Thomas. It's not in your Bible, but it's still good wisdom. It's good wisdom. I just like wisdom. I could care less about where it comes from. I could have used a Tao statement to say the same thing. I could have used a Buddhist statement to say the same thing, because I just believe in wisdom and truth. That's all that matters. That's all that matters. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you have a better understanding of what spring really means, of what all this is. We could have talked about Ishtar, Nana. We could have talked about a whole bunch of other different ancient cultures. But why? They're all teaching the same thing. It's the same story over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. Why? Because they're trying to teach you about you. Teaching you about you. All these stories, they're about you. So in order for you to have greatness, you got to free yourself so you can be yourself, because your greatness is non-negotiable. And don't forget to subscribe and support us on Patreon.